You're scrolling on LinkedIn and you see someone that you follow share an event for an upcoming webinar that they're giving all about how to break through the noise and use social media to 10x your client base. So you sign up, and when you attend, oh wow, you find that there's like 20 other people in the room. This is really cool. But when you try to do it, only like 3 people and a couple of crickets show up and everyone has their cameras off. So why is it that it works for the first person but it doesn't for you? It's because you don't have demand. So how do you fix that? It's not about posting about it on social media. It's about being loud and proud about what you stand for and attracting people that way. Hi, how you doing? My name's Lauren, and I help 6-figure brands turn their reputations into revenue engines, and this is exactly what we're going to be talking about today, so stick around. This video is not going to be about how to use social media to attract more clients, but thinking a little further ahead about how can you position yourself to be seen as a credible leader who knows what they're talking about and is able to build that rapport and their engagement with their budding audience. So just really kind of want to make that distinction here. And anytime that I use the word audience or anything like that, this is referring to anywhere that you feel like you want to be. This could be social media followers. This could just be folks that you're networked with on LinkedIn, your network connections. This could be newsletter subscribers. This could be anything. Audience, use that word and apply it to where it best fits in your life. There's a lot of trend chasing. People love it. People hate it. People love it because you can ride the wave and get more visibility that way and not have to reinvent the wheel because you're using what's already working. But at the same time, like, there is this sort of element of like cheap theatrics that kind of goes with it. And I don't know about you, but sometimes if I do that, I'm like, man, what am I doing? Like, I'm so much better than this. Why am I chasing trends? The second thing that I see people do pretty frequently actually is paying for ads. Oh, if I just pay for Facebook ads, if I pay for Amazon ads, oh, then I'll get more interest in what I do. Or, oh, I just need to post more. I just need to be more consistent. And there is merit to each of those items, but it's not like a one size fits all type thing that each of these is going to do for you. Oh, if I pay for ads, I will get interest. No, there is a difference between visibility and demand. And demand implies that there is that element of engagement that you're looking for because you want to serve your audience. They want to be in your circle. Like, everyone wants that cool, like, win-win type thing happening for them where everything is inbound. You're in demand. What you have to say, what you have to teach is in demand. That's the difference. So there's 4 things that I really want to talk about here that are really kind of getting to the root of this. The first one is unique values. And I'm going to be breaking down each of these. Unique values, direction to attention, give then ask, and then convert. So let's start with that first one. Unique values. Are you clear on what makes you special? Not what makes your business special, not what makes your offer special. Those things, we're going to be talking about those things a little bit later. Those are important, not discounting that. But like, you as a person, I always say that people pick people before brands because everyone is so sick and tired of getting sold to. I bet you watched an ad before watching this video. Did you? Maybe there's going to be another one in the middle of this or something. I don't know. I don't control that kind of thing. Are you clear on what makes you special? Your origin story. I think this is super attractive to do because this shows that you have that element of self-awareness, and I am a sucker for anyone who has a degree of self-awareness. It also kind of helps humanize your work a little bit, where it does feel like there is a man behind the curtain, you know, like Wizard of Oz. And it's also just personality driven work. Like, I really like this person. I don't know. I just like them. I want to hang out with them. I like being around them. Really good example of this. My husband, Nick, who's also my business partner, was talking with someone who is a CPA, I think it was. And she was like, oh, I'm a CPA. This is the work that I do. This is great. First of all, no one cares about your process ever. They just care that it works. So, oh, this is who I am. This is what I do. This is how I do it. Okay, great. What is it that makes you special? And this is what he asked her, like, what's your separator? And she goes, oh, I'm a really good communicator. He's like, okay, there are so many people out there that are CPAs that pride themselves on being a good communicator. I'm a good communicator, but that's not the only reason why people hire me. And so what he learned about from this person is that she was a first generation immigrant. And it's like, oh, that's really cool. Like, that shows up in the work that you do. Your work is an extension of who you are as a person. This is a very special type of approach that one can take to the financial industry. So that positions her to be a really good resource for someone who could benefit from that kind of thing, like an oh, you get it type of rapport. That's the magical stuff. The second thing is direction to attention, and this is that, where do you want people's attention to go? Like, this is the problem that I have with virality, and I've talked about this before on my other channel. It's my personal brand channel. It's just called Lauren Erickson, and this is what I talked about. My problem with virality is that everyone wants it, but no one knows what to do with it when they have it. Like, you have all this attention, What next? Oh, I don't know. I was just trying to get the attention in the first place. I didn't think that far. You want to think ahead. You always want to think 1 or 2 steps ahead. So like, let's assume you've got this audience of 1,000 people, 5,000, 10,000, 100,000, whatever. Everyone's like looking at you. Okay, well, what are they going to say? What are they going to do? What do you want them to do with the attention they're giving you? Because that is going to inform your call to action. Some examples of calls to action, you've seen them everywhere before. Comment below with your thoughts. Tag someone who you think could benefit from this. Check out my website to learn more. Hey, tune into this podcast that I was a guest on. This is where they're going to go to further validate I'm choosing to spend my time with this person. I'm choosing to have my feed be inclusive of this person's content. You're validating their decision to follow you. These are people with time that they're spending on social media. Most of it is garbage, as you know. People scroll all day long and don't remember what they were looking at. Be the person that stands out and actually gives value, right? You're confirming what you want them to learn about you. I'm a person with integrity. I am a person who immigrated 10, 20 years ago, and now I do CPA work. And once you have this attention, you want to give, and then ask. You want to nurture those relationships and those people that you're attracting. Some of these people you might not even know who they are. You want to accept constructive criticism. You want to engage with some of those individuals. Accept compliments if they come your way. People are really weird about accepting. I'm weird about accepting compliments. But if someone's saying, hey, I really like your editing style, or hey, I really liked your opening or your intro, or hey, I really love your just kind of candidness or the openness that you bring to the table. Accept those compliments. Please, for the love of God, accept those compliments. That is good stuff. It's a balance, baby, right? Constructive criticism, compliments, engaging with some of those folks, dropping what doesn't work, doubling down on what does. It's just this giant phase of experimentation to see what people like in terms of you and your delivery style and your content. And the other thing too, I think this is a really, really good skill to have and a really great place to start anyway, especially if you're like in the early stages of building up your audience. Take time to dive into your analytics. That's got some really, really good information back there. It's going to vary depending on which platform you're on. YouTube analytics are going to be different from TikTok, from Instagram, from LinkedIn, from Reddit, from any of those, right? Small channels are going to have small clues. Big channels are going to have big clues, right? Because when you're a small channel, you don't have a whole lot that you're working with. It's a lot of guessing. It's a lot of guesstimating. So those analytics are kind of a really good way of objectively seeing like what's kind of working, what's kind of not. It could be 1 point up or 10 points up. Like I always like to say that numbers don't lie. They just need context. So if you haven't done that before, check that out. See the demographics that you're attracting. What's the drop off for the 30 seconds in your YouTube video if that's the platform that you're on? Like what content is doing well, what isn't, all that good stuff. The goal here is to nurture and develop those relationships that you have with people on a larger scale or even just on an individual scale so that you are comfortable enough to approach them with an ask. That ask maybe being, hey, come to my webinar. I'm starting a podcast. Would you even want to listen to what I have to say about that kind? Like any kind of thing that you're putting on, a webinar, a podcast, a book that's coming out, like some kind of thing that some kind of like big value thing that you're wanting to put out there for free or for like a low dollar offer or something like that. You want to make sure that you've kind of warmed the waters a little bit. You want those folks to show up because they like, know, and trust you. The 3 magic words of marketing or just business in general. What you're doing here is that you're sort of proving to yourself that there is an interest in what you have to talk about or to show or to provide or to give and how they like to receive that information. This also doubles as a really good opportunity for you to sort of test out some of those lower ticket offers because generally, most likely at this point, you've been doing a lot of stuff for free or maybe you have in the past played around with webinars or any of these like things that you're putting on. It is a time commitment. Like social media and content creation is not easy. It looks easy when it works. They say that the overnight success actually takes 7 years to happen because you didn't know this person, suddenly you do know this person, boom. It must have been an overnight success, but if you look back at their stuff, you'd see that they have an entire library full of content and then one thing picked up and then boom, it went everywhere, right? Consistency, diligence, showing up, practicing, experimenting, like this is the not sexy part of social media. So what is this all to say? Like, what is my point with all of this? Diagnose and then prescribe. See what works and then ask. Nurture and then ask. You want to play around with what works before putting a price sticker on it or something, you know? If you've done previous projects or worked, had clients previously or currently in the past, like get feedback from them. Seriously, like get a little free Google form, throw a couple questions there in there, a Google Doc, throw it in an email, be like, hey, do you feel like what you paid for was worth it? What do you think was really great or not so great about working with me? What do you think I could improve on? What was I doing really well? What was I doing exceptionally well? Like getting a lot of that qualitative feedback can make such a huge difference, because I'll tell you something, it's really hard to read the label outside of the pickle jar. Like it is hard to know what makes you special from the outside as yourself, because you're around yourself constantly. So asking for that constructive feedback is a really great way of seeing how people frame you versus how you think about you. Also doing some networking. I don't know how much networking you do. Some really cool conversations can happen as a result of that. This is coming from a diehard introvert. Talking with folks and kind of, hey, I have this idea. What do you think? This is my pitch. I'm playing around with things. This is my language. I don't know if I quite have it right. Would you mind giving feedback on that kind of thing? This is what I do. Oh, that's what you do. Oh, maybe it makes sense to have another conversation around a partnership or sharing projects or something like that. Like networking, if you don't have much going for you, is a really great, easy entry way of sort of seeing what other folks are doing and maybe opening a couple other new doors. Play around with stuff until you have an idea of what works, and then keep testing it out, right? You're just doing a lot of testing. It's like the scientific method. Here are a few really, really easy entry points for you to borrow other people's audiences if you're wanting to play around with webinars, with live streams, with any of those asks. The first one I kind of already mentioned, like partner with someone in your network or a colleague or something, group webinar for group training, a live stream, sharing projects. The other thing, I've done this a couple times before, and my experience really was not too bad, is promoting some of these things on sites like Eventbrite or meetup.com. There is a subscription that is required for those. I don't remember exactly what it was. I'm sure pricing has changed over the last couple years, but I was able to get a few people just without doing much promoting. I was able to get a few people to kind of come in and tune in. And one of the coolest things that ever happened was I was giving a webinar and only 2 people showed up, both with their cameras off, of course. And one of the guys actually inquired about my services. It's the don't worry too much about the numbers. It's the engagement that you really want. Don't worry about likes. Don't worry about views. Those are all vanity metrics. They feel good when you see those numbers get big, but they don't actually tell you anything. Like, what's the engagement rate? What's the open rate? What's the 30-second drop-off rate? Are people like clicking out within 30 seconds of watching my video? Or are people leaving comments with thoughts, with feedback, with all that stuff? Like, that's the stuff that you want. So you've got partner with those in your audience, you've got using sites like Meetup or Eventbrite, and then you've also got podcasting. Like there are so many podcasts out there. Borrowing someone else's audience, you're giving them value, they get an episode for their audience. Like that's a really great way to do some of that cross promotion and collaboration. You've got another person in your network. If it goes well, if there's interest, well then great, maybe you partner again for another show or something. So I hope this at least validated some stuff and gave you some kind of starting point and, for what do I do, where do I go, what's working, what's not working, how do I know if it is or isn't working. This is a new channel that I'm starting here. This is like a more business-oriented channel relating to my business, Onward Marketing. So please feel free to leave your thoughts below if there's anything that you like or didn't like about this video, future topics that you're interested in. My husband Nick is also going to be posting on this channel. He's like the CRM nerd. So if you're interested in learning more about client relationship management tools, that is his bread and butter, homie. So that's all I got. I hope you have a good one, and check out the stuff in the description. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Take care.